In this episode of Food Service Worker, had to get that pause there for a second because I thought I was gonna cough. But anyways, it's been a minute since I made a YouTube video, but at least for this channel, I should say. My hair's scruffy, my face is scruffy. It's all right. It's that time of year where it's just like too busy to go get a haircut at times and stuff. But anyway, so it took me a while to finally come back to this channel, and because I noticed that I seen I had a comment that somebody left on one of my videos, and they wanted to know, could I tell them more about what this meal is that inmates who are put on disciplinary meals are probably served. So I'm going to answer that because it's kind of, it could be different depending on the location. I will let you know that now. I can tell you that the two places that I worked at, one was in the Department of Corrections and the other one was in the county jail. As a food service supervisor, my job was to oversee inmates, preparing the food and all that stuff, pretty much doing the labor, and I was just overseeing and making sure they were doing it right and that it was properly portioned out to the right amounts and stuff like that, and that they were properly cleaning and sanitizing the places that they were having food at or whatever it may be. So anyways, with that being said, the meal was pretty much given to the inmates who were on disciplinary write-ups, probably for having something like something from the kitchen left in their cell from that belonged to the kitchen, and yeah, it can be a write-up for that. They could be written up and lose their privileges to have a regular tray or commissary or canteen while they are on this meal. So if they were to get caught with, say, a salt packet, a condiment packet that belonged to the kitchen, a banana, an apple, an orange, anything that was food related that belonged to the kitchen, and it wasn't turned back over when they came to pick up the tray from the inmates in those cells or dorms or whatever, they could be written up and they can be taken off of a regular tray and lose their privileges that they kind of already don't have anyways if they're in a solitary confinement or administrative confinement, or also known as CM, too. Just depends on the location. So it's different for every institution. I don't want you to think it's going to be the same thing for every institution, because every institution is run differently. The wardens are different, and the administration is different probably. Some may be totally against some of those things, but I will tell you that it was pretty much, we known it as the management meal, the management loaf, or the loaf. It basically could sometimes consisted depending on if we had the ingredients. Sometimes it was there and sometimes it was left out. It is dependent on if we had the ingredients to make it. So normally it would consist of 4 different types of beans: your black-eyed peas, your I think kidney beans or something like that, and blue navy beans. And these are all beans, by the way, that were already cooked. They're in a can, and they're ready to eat. So you could literally eat them out of a can if you wanted to. There was one other bean, I forgot what it was. But anyways, it wasn't a lima bean or anything like that. These were like pretty much like, it was like a pinto bean is what it was. It was pinto bean, black-eyed peas, navy beans, and I forgot the other bean now. So anyways, and then you would have grits and oatmeal in it, and then we'd mix tomato paste and tomato sauce in it as well. And then we'd also add sometimes either sliced carrots or diced carrots into the burger patty. So there were little small chunks of carrot, or the string carrot is basically what it was, that would be put in this burger and then kind of like mixed together. And then we would form it into a burger and then have it pretty much portioned off to the right amount of ounces that the inmate would need, or the nutritionist required us to make them for the inmates to be a healthy portion of food for the inmate to be able to live on for the remainder of the time that the inmate was going to be on that meal. So it was pretty much given to them 3 times a day for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They were going to be given that meal, and they could also still be put on that meal as well, not only just for having like a food from the kitchen in there, but sometimes if they threw their tray or if it hit a CO with their food or something like that, you know what I mean? So if an inmate basically dropped a tray on on a CO's shoes and then food got on his shoes or on his clothes, that was like instant. You're now going on that loaf. Now, if you threw your tray, you're gonna go on that. We had food from the kitchen, any type of stuff from the kitchen that belonged to the kitchen. It could be fruits, it could be condiment packets that were unopened, anything that was supposed to be returned from your tray back to the kitchen. If it was left in your cell and they found it in there, you can be put on that meal for however long they want to keep you on it. So basically, we would cook it and have it ready for every meal that they would have, and the COs would pick it up with the food cart, and then they would take it to the housing unit where the inmate was, and the inmate had the decision of whether they wanted to eat it or not. And if they don't want to eat it, they just don't eat. You know, that's just the way it was. Maybe somebody in the housing unit could somehow pass them off something to eat. Who knows? But anyways, that's what they were given. Sometimes it was a week. Sometimes it was 2 weeks. It just depended on the administration or the warden decision on how long, or captains. So normally it's the captain's decisions too, but the warden had to sign off on it in the prison though for it. Administration or what do you call it, DR court and jails determined how long the inmates were on it too. So anyways though, that's pretty much it. Hopefully that is maybe shed some light, and hopefully I didn't leave nothing out. But that's it for this video. Thank y'all for watching. See y'all another video down the road.